Chapter 13. Huh. I said as my eyelids fluttered open. Finally. Charlotte said from the front seat of our car. I was lying across the back seat and we were driving on the freeway. It looked like it was early morning and the clock on her dashboard read 7:34 a.m. Where are we? I asked. Heading south, she answered. Wait. What about the werewolf? What happened? I asked. You killed them both, she answered. Do you want to come sit up front? Will be easier to talk. Yeah, I said as I slid between the front seats. Took me half a minute to flip myself over so that I could sit down, and I was a bit surprised by how sore I wasn't. I should have felt like I'd been through the blender, but I only felt the kind of body aches I would have expected from a flu. You killed the vampire and the werewolf, she said once I'd buckled my seatbelt. Oh no, that wasn't the mission. Nope. Is Satan mad? I asked. Yep, she answered. What did he say? He wants you to call him when you wake up, she sighed. How did I get in the car? I asked. The last thing I remember is hitting Giant Gene with that hunk of metal. I think Gene was actually the alpha. When he howled, it made everyone pass out. I almost did too, but I managed to grab you and carry you back to our apartment. Then I called Satan, and he told me to get back on the road. What about the trophy? I asked. It is in the trunk with the rest of our stuff. I think it has magic powers. I shouldn't have been able to kill the vampire like that. Maybe the werewolf, since it was made of silver, but the vampire wouldn't have died like that even if you staked it through the heart. How should it have died? I asked. It would have moaned about its cursed existence, made some sexy sounding pants, agonized about how it was just misunderstood by everyone, talked about how much it hated Anne Rice or Stephanie Myers, and then turned into ash. She said, Really? That seems complicated. As soon as the words left my mouth, I saw the succubus girl smile, and I realized she was pulling my leg. Call Satan, she commanded. Ugh. Can I do it later, maybe after we get breakfast? I am starving. You might as well get it over with. You aren't going to be able to eat. Thinking about the call. I'll pull off though so we can get a bite. Traffic is about to get bad anyways. The succubus angled our VW Jetta off of the highway, and we spotted a gas station with attached convenience store at the first corner. Ugh. Okay, here it goes, I said as I pressed the button on my contacts for Satan, Lord of Evil and Master of Hell. Sherman, I was wondering how long you would sleep. I was just about to call Charlotte and ask her to give you a kiss. A kiss? I asked as I glanced at the girl sitting next to me. Yeah, you know in that Disney movie? The succubus wakes up the human by kissing him. I don't think that is how it goes. There was a sleeping princess and... Oh, you are right, I'm thinking of the other movie. That one where the succubus wakes up the guy by kissing his. Hey, I'm driving here. Charlotte honked her horn at the big rig that almost smashed into us in the parking lot. What was that, Satan? I asked him. What was what? He asked. I didn't catch what the succubus did to the guy to wake him up, I said. Oh yeah, I was going to have Charlotte do it to you, but you are awake now. Huzzah. I've got to say I was a little upset with you both. The Lord of Evil said. I'm sorry about the mission. I messed up. I know we were supposed to set the vampire up as a patsy, but... doesn't matter. This is actually good for my plans. It is? I thought you wanted the vampires and the werewolves to war with each other. Yeah, and it sounds like you may have fucked that up, but you also found something I've been looking for, and this is gonna make the war go a whole lot smoother. Are you talking about the trophy? I asked. Well, it looks like a trophy to you, but it isn't. Well, maybe it could be considered a trophy for some. It will be a game changer, Sherman. I'm glad. Too. I was thinking I was gonna have to get all mad at you for failing this first assignment. But I helped Lord Bartazu with Sherman. Secret agents are only as good as their current job. Don't worry. You'll be able to redeem yourself with this next one. Should be a lot easier. Okay, I sighed. What are we doing? News of the Alpha and Vampire's death are going crazy like through the ranks of their army. My sources say that the supernaturals think that I have a new super soldier. They say the guy is loaded with muscles, wears dark demon armor, and carries a sword as big as he is tall and as wide as his chest. Can you believe that shit? Sounds like something out of a comic book. There actually is a Japanese comic book named Berserk that So I want you to go to New Orleans and get the surprise on all the vamps. There are vampires in New Orleans? I asked with surprise. Of course. Where else would they be? Sherman, sometimes I think you aren't the most tightly packed matzo ball, if you know what I mean. So we are just going to New Orleans to kill all the vampires? I asked. No, Sherman, that is just ridiculous. I've got a particular family in mind. Once they are out of the way, the soups will be really weak. Then Lucy and Gabe will make their attack. It's gonna be great. Anyhow, give me a call when you check in. Charlotte has the address and stuff of the school, and my staff is working on getting you registered. It's a private school this time, so you're gonna need to buy some better clothes. Okay, I said, and I looked down at my clothes. They seemed fine other than they were covered with some blood from when I wrestled the boys in the locker room. I probably needed to change at the gas station. We'll talk later. I'm playing Seven Wonders with Eve, Lilith, and Tara. You ever played that game, Sherman? No, is it a board game? I think I've heard of it, I said. Tara? Charlotte asked into the speakerphone. She had parked in front of the gas pump and turned off the engine. Yeah, Charlotte. I'll tell her you said hi, but say goodbye to my ass. These women keep beating me. Bunch of fucking cheaters. That is what they are. Anyways, I gotta get back in there. Toodles. The line went dead and I looked at the purple-eyed succubus girl. Should we go eat? Do we need gas? I asked. Yes and yes, she said with a sigh. I can go get the food if you'll pump the gas. Do you have some cash? I have some in my wallet. I unlocked the door and then went to open it, but Charlotte's fingers grabbed onto my shoulder. Her movement surprised me and I almost jumped out of my skin. Sherman, she whispered. You did great in the locker room. I did. Yeah, Charlotte looked into my eyes and then glanced down to where her hands touched my arm. I thought that I'd have to save you. I would have, but you took care of yourself. Well, I got mad when I thought about what they wanted to do to you. That wasn't going to happen. I could have killed them all easily. I just didn't want to show my true form with the angel girls watching. Oh, okay, good. Did you, like those girls? She asked. What do you mean? Like for a girlfriend? They were all really nice. Yeah, they were angels. They are supposed to be nice. She looked at me again and part of her mouth turned into a bit of a smile. Did you want to go out with any of them? They were all pretty. Charlotte, girls don't really like me. I shrugged. They thought I was a big video game pro because you lied to them. They seemed friendly. They approached us to talk before I even spun that story. Yeah, but they only wanted to hang out with me because they thought I was this hero. You are a hero, the succubus said, and our eyes met again. I work for Satan. He wants me to go kill vampires. We came to our last school to kill Dr. King, who is a nice guy. I suddenly felt a pang of sadness in my chest. I didn't even get to say goodbye to Mr. Helsig or Dr. King or my wrestling teammates. Everyone at this school had been so nice. I was going to miss them. And yeah, it had been kind of fun to hang out with three beautiful angel girls. I knew that they didn't really like me, but it was fun to pretend for a bit. Why are you working for Satan? She asked, and her purple eyes drifted away from me again. Because he'll kill me if I don't. I laughed. And I, want your freedom. Yes, I remember you said that when we were in hell. What if you could just ghost though? Ghost? What do you mean? I asked. Just walk away. I've got a suitcase full of money. You can take it and go wherever you want. I can't do that. Satan will find me. Sherman, the succubus sighed and smiled at me again. Satan can't find you. I got lucky. If I lose track of you on Earth, he would never find you again. That is your magic. What about you? I asked. Forget about me, she said as she turned to look out the front of the car window. The gas station wasn't that busy, so no one had honked their horn at us for not filling up yet. I can never forget about you, Charlotte. I love you. You are smart, kind, charming, and beautiful. I want to be with you even though you might not feel the same. Just feels right being near you. I want to get your freedom from Satan. Even if he offers me 99 succubi, I just want you. The words poured from my mouth and I realized that the last time I told the girl about my feelings she had emotionally withdrawn from me. Her eyes met mine and there was a bit of anger there. The emotion surprised me and I knew that I'd fucked up again. Damn it. I was always saying the wrong thing to her. What if I don't love you? She hissed, and I felt my heart turn to ice. Almost gasped, and I had to blink a few times to fight against the tears. It doesn't matter. I still love you. Her lips were on mine suddenly. It was a savage kiss and my brain exploded. With too many sensations too quickly, my tongue touched hers for half a second and she let out a soft moan into my mouth. Then she pulled away, and her purple eyes glowed with rage. Idiot. Stupid human. Erf. Get gas. I'm going inside for food. Dummy. Ugh. The succubus said a few other words in a language that sounded like a song being played in reverse, and then she practically kicked open the door of the car before she got out. I watched her stomp across the concrete space to the convenience store. She walked by a tall, ugly troll-looking man loitering in front of the place. He said something to her that I couldn't hear, but I saw her growl and hiss at the man. His face turned as white as a sheet, and he covered his head as if he feared that Charlotte would rip it from his neck and drop kick it. The succubus turned around to glare at me one last time, saw I was still in the car, and made a gesture that looked like putting a gas nozzle in a tank. Then she turned away from me and stamped into the store. Geez, I really don't understand her. I sighed as I got out of the car. My lips still tingled from our kiss, and I reached the tips of my fingers to touch them. Even though she was mad at me, I couldn't stop from smiling. End of Book 3. Thank you for reading this novel. Don't forget to write a review. Sherman's wacky adventures continue in Vampire Hell High Book 4. Love the action of Hell High? You will want to read Michael Scott's epic novel, The Destroyer. You can read it here for free in the USA. http://www.amazon.com/dp/b01aytsb5c. You can read it here for free in the UK. http://www.amazon.co.uk/dp/b01aytsb5c. You can read it here for free in Canada. http://www.amazon.ca/dp/b01aytsb5c. You can read it here for free in Australia. http://www.amazon.com.au/dp/b01aytsb5c. Read a excerpt. Here. Part 0016.html/f8900b7042-FC0CA42FCA114CBA05558CB8E. My other best-selling epic fantasy novel series is Lion's Quest. If you loved the video game stuff in Hell High, you will absolutely love Lion's Quest. Has tons of great fantasy elements combined with video game culture. Here is the blurb. Leo the Lion Lennox is the 10-year world champion of Astafar Unlimited, the best virtual reality game of all time. However, Leo has become bored with his success and wonders where his next challenge will lie. Then he meets the mysterious Zara, and she tempts the champ to try her cutting-edge game. Leo soon discovers a virtual world that is beyond fantastic. Can he resist the lure of this amazing game and the beautiful woman that has asked him to quest on her behalf?